I guess.
Mic check. More Masters Podcast. Y'all made, of course. Got a special guest. Got Miss Tara across me. How you doing?
Hey.
So, we kind of talked beforehand. I know you as Tara Sings, so that's why I was going to call you. So
that's fine.
I was stressed out by what I should call you when we started the podcast. I was like, when I say this name they gave me, or, it seems so formal. I know normally I get into it later, but I do want to, I mentioned it off camera, so I want to mention it now and kind of preface it. So people know you do it now. You are a singer, right?
I am.
Okay, and I want to say this, and this is just me starting the podcast off this way, just because it's 2025. 2022, you performed. It was a Saturday night, and I don't forget. It was Saturday night. Saturday night on Karen's stage. It was in Arts and the Hearts.
Yeah.
And I have been to a few, I say live band performances, some jazz stuff here and there throughout my life, but I know for sure that was the best performance I had ever seen.
Thank you.
And I'm not even clap it up for y'all real quick, but I'm not even saying it for that purposes. I'm really saying it because I remember the very that Monday, because I know Sunday they do things to them. That Monday, I might have called Karen and said, "Hey, I need to know who those people were."
Yeah.
I know it's a band, it's a collective of you guys, and I was just enamored. I remember following y'all stuff, watching y'all stuff. And I did try. It's funny when I text you, I seen we had a thread. I don't know if you seen it. I said, okay, I did see it, but I had got so busy after I couldn't even do it. But I also feel like sometimes when you know or when you see something, I have to let that wear off first because I'll just be in fan mode and not in interview mode.
Right.
So I'm glad we're doing it now. So welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
Preface of that. I guess I want to start with that. Tara Sings. Who is that? Who is that? Who is she?
She is a go-getter. She is a little girl who has been singing since she was 3 years old and just really out here just trying to chase her dreams, trying to find the balance between logic and childlike faith.
Well, I like that. I know you said you've been singing since 3 years old. So I guess for me, especially you being a singer, I want to get into that. Like singing at 3. How at 3 are you a good singer, or is it a notion that she's gonna be a singer?
So I really have to shout out my dad, who is my number one supporter. He tells a story about how when I was 3, I was singing in front of his friends, like the Itsy Bitsy Spider or some, nursery rhyme or something. And he was like, she's got it. She's going to be a singer. And honestly, ever since then, he has just pushed me to, really try to put me in places where I needed to be in order to reach that goal. And honestly, before I even knew that that's what I wanted to do, like I remember in grade school, I wanted to be a teacher. I would line my little teddy bears up and I would take my dry erase marker right on the mirror. That was what I wanted to do. I liked to sing. I sang in church and I felt like I could sing, but it really didn't become a possibility or a reality that it could be a possibility for me until I was in high school. But my dad, from the very beginning, he saw something and kind of just, like I said, try to put me in places. So Augusta Children's Chorale, which I don't even think they are a thing anymore, but Miss Bradbury and her son, I think he took it over for a little while. But just being in places where you probably wouldn't see little Black girls or, that wasn't really the norm. But it was outside of church, and he felt like, it would put me in a place to kind of elevate me or to get me where he felt like I should have been. So I don't know. I don't even remember being 3 singing, but, he saw something. And, eventually as I have gone through life and went through school, I went to college and got my degree in music. And right now I'm in graduate program, getting my degree in music ed, and just going the places that music has taken me.
Yeah, right.
And to hear people like you say, I heard you perform in 2022 and you blew me away, or to get off of the stage and people say, girl, I ain't never heard nobody sing Aretha like that, or, to hear the testimonies, to hear firsthand the effect that my gift has on people is nothing but confirmation of what my dad saw back when I was just a toddler.
I think just to add on to the performance part too, because I know I should have did a video back then just about it, but I think y'all did your own like sets, cuts, right. And then towards the end, you did some remakes of songs that's already out there.
Right, yeah.
And I don't know if that was y'all. I'll get into like the whole stage setup later on, but I think I'm a big Lauryn Hill fan. I just you can't tell me no wrong. Besides the fact that she don't be on time, I love her other than that, right?
Yeah.
I'll never interview her though, because she don't be on time and I don't like that. But shout out to Lauryn Hill. But you sung a Lauryn Hill song and I was like, because it was going so good. And I'm like, oh damn, Lauryn Hill, I don't know if she's touched. And you killed it. I said, oh my God. And then I want to say it was a Beyonce. It was an upbeat version, but Beyonce, and you did great. And I love Beyonce too. I'm like, this is it. Because you look for something. I know you look for something to say, oh, they did good, but, and there was no buts to me.
Right.
Like that, even your stage presence and the fact that you had a set where the music is going and you kind of introduce every band member.
Right.
And I thought that was amazing. Just how you sold them and I loved it. But going back, so I know you said you're singing since a younger child. I want to talk about just singing in church for a second, right? Because everybody do it, but everybody can't do it
right
very well.
Yeah.
So, what was I guess the vibe in church when you were singing? Because I'm pretty sure you got to spread the love. Other kids got to sing, right? You know I'm going with this. So, like, what was the vibe when you were singing church? Just as in versus whoever else would maybe sing? Because I'm pretty sure, like, parents be nice, they gonna be nice, but it's like they're gonna bring you to the side and say you can really sing. Like, right, so what was that vibe like?
So a similar thing as now, coming off of the stage, people will or would come to me after church and say, like you said, wow, you really blessed me, or wow, you really touched me. And honestly, when I was younger, I was very I was not outspoken at all. I was kind of reserved. Mm-hmm. I kept my opinions to myself. I didn't really rock the boat a whole lot. And I remember going back to my home church probably around the time you first saw me. Okay. And they were having, I think, an anniversary concert or something. They asked me to come sing. I sang. And I remember one of the ladies who saw me grow up, she said to me, she said, that little quiet girl that grew up here now has her own voice. Right? And so, like I said, I was younger, so I really wasn't paying attention to what the reaction or the feedback, because I was so busy trying to fit in, or I was so busy trying to not stand out, if that makes sense.
You were being a kid.
Being a kid, right? And, unfortunately, a lot of times when we do stand out, or when we see a child that stands out that's a little bit too outspoken, or they talk a little bit too much, sometimes they get a negative
connotation
label, on them. And so I was trying to avoid that.
Right. As
I got older, I learned to appreciate that, I say what's on my mind, or I say what everybody else is thinking. But yeah, it's nice. It's nice to hear that.
How were you able to feel it? How if I'm thinking, I'm not. I've been in church.
Yeah.
I've seen some things, but like how I feel like what sets a lot of the great singing in church apart too is feeling. Like you can sing, but the feeling of it, that you project with your voice,
right?
Then also in addition to what you give the audience. Mm-hmm. So you, young kid, soft spoken, but can sing.
Yeah.
How are you able to connect with the songs enough to give that feeling to these even adults,
right?
People are going through whatever they're going through in their week. for them to even come give you feedback when you get off the stage, because that's what's
Right.
important. The feedback is one thing, but it's why. Like, they felt it so much, they felt the need to come talk to you.
Right. I think that goes into the difference between a gift and a talent. And they can sometimes be both, which I believe is the case for me. And I believe that when I was younger, I was definitely operating solely in that gift. So it really didn't register to me that I was connecting with adults.
Right.
I was just singing, in hindsight, I was, and that is the anointing. That's when the spirit in me touches the spirit in someone else. But it wasn't until I was much older until I really recognized that and was able to connect the two. Yeah.
I don't normally say this, but I tell people, I'll tell this all the time. I'm saying, because you are a singer. I am very jealous of anybody that can sing. I just feel like I would never speak. I feel like everything I would just be, it would be me singing.
People say that all the time, and I'm telling you, it's not. Well, I mean, people say that all the time.
I mean, of course, I'm joking. I do think though, like it's a different form of communication.
Yeah.
That everybody can do. Even when you say gift versus talent, you can learn how to sing and maybe hold the tune, hold the note, but that don't mean you a singer. Even the greats, they kind of debate on who's a quote unquote singer versus who got bigger, better pipes or whatever the case may be.
Right.
And so for me, I was I look at Jimmy Fox. He's one of the most talented people on earth to me. I always thought he was just funny.
Yeah.
Then he came out singing. I'm like, okay, yeah. All right. But then one day I happened to just see him on YouTube, and he was playing the piano and singing. And I said, God knew better than to give me that talent right there. Like, it's no way people would love me. But too many people would love me because I would do it every day. I would be singing every day. I go live. I just start singing to the live crew. And
you would not.
Yeah, no. I get donations though. I wouldn't work. I know that wouldn't work. Definitely wouldn't be working. I wouldn't be working. But yeah, so I look at it and I get envious because like, even if like how y'all singing, I don't know all the terminology, but riffing and people like, you know how like they sing and they bottom chin be moving side to side and then like it give you different tunes. I can't do none of that. I look silly doing it. I sound silly doing it. So I do it in the mirror, of course. But I watch y'all do it all the time. Like, why would they chin move side to side? It's like playing a flute and you moving your fingers off the holes and you get different tunes. So like going to even the mechanics of singing, like how'd you learn the mechanics? Okay, you got the voice. That's 3 years old. They know that. So what go into like you learning how to even manage your voice, practice singing and things like that.
Yeah. So that goes back to what I was saying about my dad putting me in places and connecting me with people who could nurture that gift. So like I said, the Augusta Children's Chorale. Then when I got...
What is that? I'm sorry. I know you mentioned it.
Yeah. So,
I'm not from inside. I never heard that day in my life.
Well, you probably won't hear it because, like I said, I don't even think they are a thing anymore. I'm showing my age. But so it's basically, have you ever heard of the Augusta Chorale?
Yeah, I heard that, yes.
Okay, so it's a choral group for adults. But this was a children's chorale. So they sing choral children's music. But at the time, they really were like predominantly white. But in our rehearsals, we would kind of learn some of those techniques and things like that you're talking about, those mechanics. So that was a very early start for me learning how technically to sing. And then when I got into the later part of middle school and high school, I joined Creative Impressions. At the time, it was under the direction of Dr. Reverend Evelyn Ellis. And that's where I met Trey McLaughlin. And so that shout out to Trey.
Yeah, he can sing.
The GOAT, yes. So that also taught me, the mechanics and the technicality, but also that's when I really started learning how to connect the emotion with the vocals.
What age did you say you was at that time?
8th, 9th. I think I joined in 9th grade.
Okay, so high school.
Yeah,
about 14.
Yeah,
Okay.
something around there. So yeah, that's where I really started it, and then that's when I decided that I wanted to pursue music full time.
If you can, I don't know teaching, of course, but like this, when you say mechanic, like what's something that you didn't know before you got into these groups, or and then they say, hey, this is what you do, and this is what this means.
Right. So mechanics would be things like your placement, where you are putting your voice. So you hear people talk a lot about like a chest voice or a head voice, something like that. You hear people sometimes say belting, things like that, breast support, but also little nuances like how to place your vowels, or, a certain way to put your shape your mouth, or your as my teacher says, your articulators. To get a certain style or a certain tone that you're looking for, or even learning, what is a tone or what is resonance, or just that different vocabulary, things like that. So how to work your instrument. I tell my students all the time, just because you don't pick your instrument up, your body is your instrument, your voice is your instrument. And just learning just how, like you said, the flute, I think you said earlier, you have to learn each pieces of that instrument. It's the same thing with your voice. Your voice is your instrument. So you've got to learn how to manipulate it and how it works.
And I think the dopest thing about what you're saying, but that like I never looked at it that way, I guess. So when somebody say, "Oh, you're a singer," that's your instrument.
Absolutely.
But then somebody else say, "Oh, I play the piano, I play the flute, I play the trombone, I'm a drummer." Those are all sounds. They're all instrumental.
Yeah.
And I know we look at the singer as the head
no one
honcho,
does.
but it's like it's so many different sounds.
Absolutely.
So I like that. Okay. And so you start learning this stuff. What at first was it ever difficult to at first when you started learning mechanics, or you was like, I ain't trying to do it, I'm just trying to sing, or was it like eye opening to you and so interesting that you like, I want to do more of this. I want to learn how to get better at this.
Yeah, I was never, I don't want to do this.
It's not like when you start talking, I was like, okay, I never mind. Maybe I don't want to sing every day, right? That quick for me. I was like, whoa, this is too much.
No, it was never, I don't want to do this. And I think that is also a very good indicator when I'm teaching my students how interested they are. And not to say that those that aren't interested don't have potential, but it's definitely more noticeable with my students who immediately, like, they're like glued into everything that I'm saying, and they take it and they run with it, because that was definitely the type of vocal student that I was. Everything any director, anybody in person in front of me was saying, do this, or no, you should do this, or let's try this. I was like a sponge. I was just taking it in, and also going home, like you said, in the mirror, practicing different things and trying different things and seeing what I like, what I didn't like, what worked, what didn't work.
I grew. I would frequent down here before I moved down here sometimes, and my cousin in Pepperidge it's a family. The Butlers. I think he's one of the guys. The dad's a pastor.
Okay.
But he had a lot of some of them passed now, but he had some kids at the time, and they all would just sing all day. And I don't mean like a group. I'm talking about just we'd be walking. I guess they were practicing their voice.
Yeah.
And that's when I first started seeing the whole jaw moving thing. But it sounded good, all of them to me, because they'll sound better to me because I can't sing, right? And so I wonder, like, for you as a singer, was that something you had to do? Like, yeah, you practice amongst your peers and with your instructor, but then how much of that is going home and doing more work on yourself by yourself, so you can be better and more available the next time you go to class?
Yeah, I would do that all the time. So it's funny because, like, people, like I said earlier, like, people that don't sing or can't sing, everyone can sing. But yeah, don't laugh. They can. Everyone can sing. So it's funny because I don't just burst out in song. However, I will vocalize and do different things, especially like if I'm working on something or I'm trying to really get something. Especially when I was younger, I would do a lot. Like with me and Trey would be riding around in the car, or like we would go places and like we hear something on the elevator, the elevator music. So we practicing harmonizing, or we riding in the car and he's like, okay, try this, and I think it's important to be surrounded around people who are where you're trying to be. Because Trey really made me better. Like, he would be like, no, try this again. Or he would make me think. I mean, even now at church, he's like throwing stuff at me at the last minute, like, hey, lead this. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm not prepared. And so it teaches you, to be ready. Right. So you ain't got to get ready. You just stay ready. So
when you were younger, and I asked this because you obviously, you got the talent, you amongst your peers and y'all sharpening each other with singing and these methods and performances. What were your aspirations? I know you're a teacher you wanted to be, right? But did you ever have any aspirations to be like this top R&B singer, or like this big, I don't want to say a name like compare to somebody, but like a big artist? Did you ever have that kind of mindset?
I don't think I did. I don't think I wanted to do that. I did want to. I wanted to go to grad school, study voice. So once I went to college for music, and I started learning about women like Marian Anderson and Leontine Price, Jesse Norman. That was really where I was. I wanted to go to grad school up in Boston. My dream was to sing at the Met Opera. So my aspirations or dreams really were more on the classical operatic side of things.
Not to cut you off, but can you tell me who the first two of those three names were? I know just Norman. I know why I know.
Yeah. Marian Anderson, and Leontine Price.
What they do? Who were they?
So all three of those women were influential African American opera / classical singers. Okay. So I would always hear about people like Renee Fleming, and other people, and then of course there are other African American women like Kathleen Battle, but those three really were the most influential for me when I was going through college. So those were people that I would look for to listen to when I'm preparing music and things like that. So
I like what you said there, because I think I want to bring a sort of perspective into this conversation. I think somebody like me and people that's watching that's like me that quote unquote don't sing, right? We say don't sing, and are into that field of work. We see things just one way. Right. You can sing Beyonce. Yeah. You can sing Lauryn Hill. You can sing Aretha Franklin. You can sing Anita Baker. That's how we see it. Right. Mary J. Blige, all these people. Whereas someone who is studying music, who is doing this day in, day out, that you're grinding, almost like it's not almost, just like sports. Right. You got a basketball player who will tell you their favorite basketball player is not Michael Jordan, it's somebody else. It's somebody you probably never heard of. Wow, well, he got this mechanics. Yeah. He do this with his free throws. His workout ethic is like this. Yeah. It's because he's that person is like studying the game, so they study a little differently. They're not seeing what's being put in front of you. Right. And so I think it's amazing to hear you say that, and you name some people that I don't even know, or people that maybe is watching don't know. So I'm asking this question of who they are, so they can go look them up. But your aspirations isn't, not that you're not a fan, of course, but your aspiration isn't to be Aretha Franklin. It's not to be Lauryn Hill. It's like, well, I like this. This would get me ready for what I got going on. Right. But as you're studying and you know your voice and how you want to sing and what you might be considered to be good singer versus great singer versus amazing singing, it's all different levels. In our community, just Black, right? Opera isn't like, we don't wake up listening to Saturday morning, your dad, your mom not playing opera to clean up. You know what I'm saying? So that's not what they're playing. Yeah. And so I like that perspective coming from someone who has done the work and has been singing for a long time and knows mechanics and just the history of music and has studied music. I think that's just amazing to say, because you could have went any route. You could have said, I love this thing. I love this group. But it's really like these classical singers who we don't speak about a lot, but they have done a lot
Right.
and paved the way a lot for
Exactly.
people like you.
Yeah.
I wish when I learned about Jessie Norman, I wish I did what I did earlier to meet her, because
Right.
she seemed that monumental, and I never would have known that
Yeah.
until I went down to the community center and did
Yeah.
a documentary. So yeah, I think that's amazing. Even you saying like, well, I wanted to go to school. I kept wondering, like, well, she said go to school. Like, mom thinking like, school, drop out. You singing, baby. Like, what's up? Once again, outside looking in, I'm just like, but I think you being around other great singers also
Right.
is a thing. I think for me, somebody can say they can sing. It may come around you and say, I just play with it now. I'm not really a singer, right? Because they can sing differently. Or even you, like you say with Trey, like it might be levels to whatever y'all
Exactly.
doing. And for my standpoint, is just if you can sing, you can sing. Go on that stage and just let's get this money.
Yeah.
So I do like that mindset. What about opera, I guess, like stands out to you? Like what do you like about it?
Part of it is I love the drama. I just love the drama. It adds to it that, like you said, that's not the first thing that's on people's mind when you hear or when you see a Black girl saying she want to sing.
Mm-hmm.
You thinking Beyonce, Rihanna, Sierra, or now Glorilla. You know what I'm saying? You're not thinking a big gown on a big stage, but I want to preface this with saying that I enjoy being on the stage. The stage is my happy place, whether I'm singing classically, whether I'm singing R&B, whether I'm singing gospel. It's something very home-like on the stage. It's where the rest of the world and my problems in life just disappears, and I can just be free, and that is the safe space. So I love the stage no matter what genre that I'm singing. But I am different. And so I like that opera is different. And I think that African Americans doing opera and classical music is different. It's not new.
Yeah, definitely.
Like I said, Marian Anderson, which don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure she's the first African American woman to, sing classically. But so it's not new, but it's different. And I like that.
I like that too. I like that. I like the difference. I think it allows you to challenge yourself.
Absolutely.
In ways where you wouldn't be challenged if you just went to strictly hip hop R&B.
Right.
Then you got to dance everywhere if you want.
And it really prepares you for all other genres.
Everything.
Yeah. So I think it was one of my students asked me about singing opera or something, and I'm like, because it is a technical style of singing, I can take what I know about singing classically and apply it to any other genre. And so there's this vocal coach. My toddler actually found her on YouTube, but her name is Cheryl Porter. And I like her because she's a Black lady. And she wears these like crazy funky earrings, normally has her hair wrapped up. But what drew my attention to her, I actually heard her before I saw her. Like I said, my toddler, she loves YouTube, but anyway.
Don't they all?
Right. But she was doing these like warm-ups, right? And I was like, girl, what you listening to? I'm like kind of like this, right? So I looked her up and I was looking at some of her videos or whatever. And so she actually drives, like, I guess what made her famous or whatever was her voice lessons in the car. And it brought me back to me and Trey because, like I said, we would be riding around the city, singing, whatever. Yeah. But she like coaches these Broadway people,
Yeah.
But what makes her unique is her warm-up. She creates these unique warm-ups. And I'm like, okay, Cheryl Porter, I like this, but watching, going back and kind of researching who she is, she's also classically trained. So, but she can belt, she sings in church, you know what I'm saying? So people think about singers and it's just like, oh, Beyonce, but not realizing probably the back end, she probably has a vocal coach. She probably went to voice lessons. Yeah. And in those coachings, in those lessons, those same techniques are probably the same things that people are learning in a classical voice lesson. Yeah, so.
I think that's important too, and I have to bring this up because when I do, maybe I'm jealous too because I have cousins that can sing, right? And I have cousins that can sing, and they I remember I would come home sometime, come down here, and it was brother and sister, and they would, you know what, I think she was in that group too, now I think about it. I think my cousin was in that group. Would y'all travel sometime? Did y'all travel? Augusta Corral? So I think one time y'all came to, I don't know if it's the same group, but our group came to New York.
Okay.
That's where we from, so we went to go see her or whatever. And it was just some regular singers. I'm not gonna lie, I was like, this is not what I was thinking about. This is not what I wanted to see, it's not that it was bad. It just was like it might have been class. I don't know. I have to find out more information about it. I don't know. A lot of people have passed away since that, so I don't know how to get the information. But I said to say I would come around and they would do the same thing, I guess as you would Trey, like they brother and sister, so they would be singing "We Can't Be Friends."
Okay.
Obviously, he take the guy out, right? And I'm like, I just get upset. Like, why can they sing? Because she could really sing. Like, why can they sing? But I used to always get upset because I'm like, later on in life, I'm like, well, why didn't you do? It's so. For me, I'm looking at so many things you can do that your voice can take you to do. Maybe you can write. Maybe singing it's not for you to be in the forefront. You could be a writer.
Right.
You could be a backup singer. You can be a vocal coach. You can do all these different types of things that instrument. It's like a plethora of jobs for that. Just like a basketball player. They don't always make the NBA. Some are coaches, some are GMs, some are equipment managers, some are, specialists in training and things like that. Or, they'll stretch people out, whatever they got to do. It's so many jobs underneath where that basketball can take you.
Right.
And I just be like, yo, y'all sitting around doing nothing, but y'all could have did a bunch of other things where maybe you weren't in the forefront, but you could be known still. Yeah. You can kind of make your own lane.
Right.
Did you know that coming up? Like, well, let's say singing. Maybe you won't be a forefront singer, whatever. I don't know. But there's so many things you can do. You can be a vocal coach. You can be this. Is that something that you thought about as you were coming up?
No. That was nothing that was presented to me or anything that I was really aware of. And honestly, I don't think that it's still anything that's been presented or something that people are making children aware of. So like, I always go back to kids because I'm a teacher. I actually, one of my goals is to set up a arts career fair. So that students can talk to people, like you said, who are, A&Rs, managers, vocal coaches, writers, producers, choreographers, film writer, all these different jobs that are in entertainment or in the music industry. Or, just the business of music, period, like agents.
Right.
Even
on stage play, stage plays, you might be an okay actor, but you're a great singer. Where they want that great singer on that stage. Right. That might take you somewhere else. You just
exactly.
Never know.
Or playwright or costume designer or, things like that. So that's my goal, to set up a arts career fair, because when you hear career day or you think about a career fair, you think about jobs like, a doctor or, a cosmetologist or a realtor, and all those careers are great. But like you said, there are so many other doors and opportunities that the arts can open up for you that just unfortunately kids don't really know about. And honestly, by the time they figure it out, they have wasted so much time and possibly money. You know what I'm saying? Going to school to be a doctor, they don't even like blood or I think it kind of stems from, back in the day, people were like, oh, music ain't gonna make you no money kind of, attitude or whatever. But there's so many, you can really go into like business law, and be a lawyer, handling contracts and things like that. So it's unfortunate to answer your question. No, I did not know until like later on in life.
And that's why I never like really said nothing to them about it, but I always thought that, I guess my perspective looking at from the sports background, because I always do a comparison. I feel like that's how you do in life. Like I try to look at things from different perspectives. So my sports perspective is like looking into music. I'm like, well, you don't have to be this top 10 artist to, live wealthy off your music. Actually, some of the artists don't make all the money anyway. No. Once you start finding out things like that, which I've always been interested in like interviews. So like hearing like somebody like Neo might talk, oh, I wrote this song. Like, well, that's my biggest. And like he got all these good songs himself, but his biggest hit is somebody else's hit.
Right.
So forever he good off that. And
exactly.
I don't think people always think about that. The fact that I could write a jingle. I could, speaking Jamie Foxx, right? Jingles and stuff, but like even stuff like that. Like, I could write this.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess my perspective always been like that because I see a lot of underdog stories with talented artists. The clips, they rappers though, but they wrote the jingle for McDonald's. Like who knew that? They've been eating off that jingle forever.
Yeah.
And you thinking they struggling because they're not selling new records, but the whole time they let that instrument take them somewhere else.
Exactly. Yeah.
You mentioned the stage though, so I do want to get into that. You mentioned the stage. When you talk about it, I imagine someone having a game. It's like game day. It's like like the playoffs. It's like it's time now. I think a stage plays. How much of your training, your schooling, you being in programs, being coached, do you think helps you with your stage presence and how you are on stage?
Oh, all of it. Yeah, all of it. I can look back on times where like when I first started kind of performing, like people would ask me to, come sing for whatever, and the gift was always there, right? So yeah, you can sing, you sound good. But it really took coaching and guidance development to really say, okay, Tara, do something. And some of it was just a reminder. Like I don't know if you've ever like been around kids or like met someone who's just a natural performer. Like they just naturally, they got it.
Yeah.
And so I think that it's inside of us. It's just sometimes takes someone to say, well, what are we doing here? Or what could you do here to really make you more intentional about your actions or what you're doing on stage. And so what was also helpful for me was recording. So I would, set my camera up or ask somebody to record it or whatever, so that I could go back and look at it and see and say, oh, why I do this? Or I don't like that. Or, okay, girl.
I'm curious. I want to ask you, like, them days or times you driving with Trey in a car, right? Mm-hmm. What do you think would happen if y'all had TikTok back then? Or if y'all had,
No telling.
Because I just imagine, some great singing in the car, great notes being made and things like that. And you see it sometimes now, be it by accident, somebody be loud, they sing, they go up, next thing you know, they on these award shows. Yeah. I wonder how that would have traveled back then,
Yeah.
Y'all in the era of like, everything was, you show up and you perform. Being in a different era now where like sometimes your performance is just a reel that you just didn't expect to do nothing.
Right.
And next thing you know, you got all the people knocking on your door, you get 1 million views or 5 million views. So I'd just be curious like how things back then with the preparation and coaching, anything, singing, sports, it's always different back then. I think it was different back then. And then now sometimes you have like underdeveloped talent and things like that. But because things went, you got to go with it. Oh, you went viral, so come on, you ready now?
Yeah, right.
But I want to get back to the stage. So on the stage, like, how do you prepare for stage events, whether you perform by yourself or with your band? Or is it different? Rather, let me ask that question.
No, it's the only difference is with the band is more people. So the preparation is a little bit more involved because I got to set up rehearsals and kind of try to relay my vision to them.
Got you.
So I'm a very themed oriented person. So I like and a detail oriented person. So like all the details, I like to be in the theme of things or whatever. So really I just do a lot of mind prep first to start off to see, okay, first with even, picking the songs, what is my set list going to be? And how can I put it together and how can I make it tell a story? Or what is the story that I want to tell?
I want you to keep answering the question, but how long did that take? Like putting together a set list. Do you make a bunch of things and take things out? Are you mix and maxing? Like what you do?
It depends on what it is. Honestly, a lot of times it kind of comes to me.
Okay.
So I'm a over planner.
All right, we got very detailed themed.
Yes.
Over planner.
I'm an over planner, but honestly, I get the best ideas at the very last minute.
Got you.
So a lot of times I have to table stuff because by the time it comes to me, there's so many moving parts. I'm like, yeah, it's too late to kind of switch it up.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it can vary. Sometimes it's just a day. Sometimes, I might sit on it for a week. It also depends on when whoever called me to, set up the gig or whatever. So
what about, I want to kind of talk about like Arts in the Hearts a little bit. So like how are you going into performing at Arts in the Hearts?
So this year I'm on the Soul Suite stage. Normally I'm on the jazz stage with Karen. So prep for that was always I wanted to try to include some jazz. This is the jazz stage. Again, I'm very...
What's the difference between, I guess, the last stages you've been on and then this one right now? Besides, I guess, the theme. Theme is jazz on Karen's.
Theme is it's me.
Okay,
I don't know that it is.
Okay.
I don't know that it is a theme for anybody else, but it's a theme for me.
Got you. Okay, you're making it a theme. I got you. Okay, my bad.
It's me. I add this stuff on myself and then I be frustrated, but it's okay.
Hey y'all, we got a theme today, all right?
It's the truth. Listen, this is the thing. This is what we wearing. This is what we doing. Like
whole time, it just you could have kind of did free fall, right?
I really could. It's me. I get it. I know what Taylor Swift said. Hi, it's me. I'm the problem. It's me. I get it. No. So yeah. I mean, so rewind. Who is Tara? I love the fact that I do multiple genres, right? So I really try to bring that to every show that I do. So like, there's no real difference between the jazz stage or the Soul Suite stage, other than Dorian got air conditioned. But
hey man, come on now.
But for me, like I said, it's the jazz stage. So I try to include some jazz or something different that people weren't expecting. So like I think last year we opened up with a classical piece. I did an arrangement by Jesse Norman to open up the piece. I like the wow factor, or I like the, I wasn't expecting that, or girl, I didn't know you could do that, or, whatever. And so this year we're doing a Soul Suite stage. And so the theme It's Soul Sister.
Okay.
So we're doing pretty much a tribute to soul music. So the prep was really, that kind of came to me instantly. I wanted the theme to be Soul Sister. And so when I was, looking for music, it kind of just fell in my lap, which is part of the reason why I like a theme, because it's easier to narrow it down.
Definitely. You can paint a picture that way. Like, this is gonna be the picture.
Exactly.
That's what I want. Like, when you narrow it down like that, okay, we're doing Soul Sister. Does the sets that the song, does that come to you easier when you have a theme?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I know obviously you can't. I don't want you to burst the set, but I just want you to throw it out there. Angie Stone did pass away. So
yes.
But I like her. That is one soul.
Oh yeah.
Singer. I like all of them, technically speaking, though. But I do think she had a gift. But in addition to that, you have a band. So tell me the name of the band. I want to make sure I got it right.
The Snacks.
The Snacks. Okay. See, the first time I heard, I thought it was the Snaps, right? So I'm looking for the Snaps, right? Look, hold on, look. I was on the phone with Karen. She said, I'm like, Snaps. And I was like, I don't see it.
Yeah.
So I called her. She said, no, it's like snacks, like
snacks.
Something you eat. I said, oh, okay,
yeah.
okay. And then I found y'all. So yeah.
Yeah.
Snacks.
Yeah,
like
Little
Debbie.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. What went into the name, the Snacks?
So it's funny. I was just talking to somebody this morning.
She said, so it's funny.
I'm telling you, stuff just comes. Like, it's really a gift and a curse, because it comes last minute sometimes. But no, we were getting ready for a gig. I don't even remember what gig it was, but we were getting ready for something, and I was putting a flyer together. And my friend was like, "Oh, the boys look good. They look like some snacks." And I was like, "Oh, I like that."
It's just that simple. And no crazy meaning behind it. Just came to you.
Yeah,
I like that.
I loved it because they did look like snacks, and I like it because it does make you think. Like, what are they gonna do? Let me come see. Like, we did candlelight, and somebody came up to me after. He said, he said, I never heard y'all before, but I came, Russell Joe Brown. And he said, but I had to see what these snacks
what these snacks
were about. And he said, I was pleasantly surprised. I really enjoyed y'all's show. So it makes you kind of raise your eyebrow, like, what's going on? It's catchy, and they do look good. So
if you can, and like I said, I seen you perform. It was amazing. But kind of, if you can, speak about each band member and like what they do. I don't know, like one do the drums, one is like the
Yeah, so I actually have like
oh, it's different snacks.
Yes, different snacks.
I might have seen one snack set,
yeah,
but it might be a different snack set somewhere else. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's a lot then.
Yeah, because the guys are busy sometimes, so I kind of have like 2 sets.
2 snacks, I got you.
Yeah, kind of rotate when the boys can't make it. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
But I guess what goes in for preparation as a band? So I know as a singer and as you solo, you do your own thing, but as a band, how are those rehearsals?
So when with the band, it's the same start. So I figure out, the music, what I want to do, what kind of theme I'm going for, whatever. And then I send the music out to the guys, and then we set the rehearsal. And then when they come to rehearsal, this is why I really love them, because they are all professional and amazing. So it's really a matter of kind of just bringing it all together and making the music snackified.
Snackified is, I like that. Snackified. You heard it here first.
Yeah. So, because everybody brings their own thing to it, right? So Jeffrey, that's my keyboard player, and he's immaculate. He has his own little vibe going on, right? And so he's gonna bring something, and then each player has their own thing, right? And even from rehearsal to the show, they might have set in stone, okay, we're going to do X, Y, Z or whatever. But once we start vibing on stage, they might go to something else. And then I'd run this you know what I'm saying? So it's really just a vibe. Those boys are my family. Like, I love them so much. And that's why I really make sure that I'm intentional about introducing them on the stage for every show. Because it's not just about me. I couldn't do it without them. And like I said, we're family. So I want to make sure that they get their flowers.
I think, and I put things together. So I think it's amazing you saying that, because I don't think people realize how much little stuff make a big difference, even outside of what you may see it to be. And I'm gonna say this, so I remember seeing that and remember thinking, I don't know why that just kept my mind like, yo, she introduced all of them, because I felt like you was blowing us away with the singing. Not saying you didn't have to do that, but in my mind, I'm like, oh, she can sing. I'm not even thinking about the aesthetics of other things that's making you sound even great just because of the music, right?
Yeah.
And as you did it so well throughout the song playing. Like, you was taking, then you come back, and then then you come back, and then you sing.
Yeah.
I was like, that sequence was just amazing to me. But aside from that, I remember having an episode like a few weeks later where I had like 4 or 5 people on, and I remember like trying to introduce everybody. And somebody said, "Why you did?" I said, "Well, when I saw that performance, I was like, I got to start doing that. I got to make sure I introduce everybody first, because you never know what value somebody going to bring, and they want to know they valued as well." Right. So I thought that was dope. So, because it says Tara in the snacks, so you can instantly just be like Tara, and that's it, like whatever, right? But you was like, hey, this is this person. You hear that playing, like even as they isolate sometimes, because they were isolating a little bit to get their own thing off, and you would go to them like, this is my drum. I just thought that was amazing. That was just great. Yeah. So, like, what can people expect from a Tara and the Snacks performance? Not just at the Austin Hearts, just in general. When they see a flyer and it says Tara and the Snacks this day, wherever, this night, what can the people expect?
First of all, they better come.
I like that. Pop out, first of all.
Yes, no, they can expect an experience for sure. Like I said, I'm an eclectic singer, so they're gonna hear all type of things. They're gonna feel the emotion. It's just a good vibe. People ask me all the time, like, what type of music do you do? And I'm like, feel good music. If it feel good to me, it's gonna feel good to you. And that's what the snacks are gonna do, is make you feel good. And it's just a vibe.
Like that. Feel good music. It just feel good to me. It's gonna feel good to you. I like that. If you do you have a performance that just stands out to you? Like, this performance this night was monumental to me, or do you just feel like they all kind of blend in with each other? Is there any one that stands out?
Ooh, I have to say the mayor's master's reception last year. So 2024. The mayor's master's is 2. The mayor's master's reception last year and Candlelight last year.
Okay. What was it about those that stood out? Was it the feel on stage, or just the feedback? Was it a mixture of everything?
So I think it was. So I'm from Augusta. I've been in Augusta since I was 5 years old. Right. Wait. Well, maybe I got 3. Okay. Because I don't want to say they all blend together. Because
I want to know all of them. Just let me know.
Yeah. So the third one I think it might be the Arts in the Heart that you were at.
Oh, look, man, look at that. Clap it up for me. I knew it.
It might have been. So that was my first time doing Arts in the Heart for me by myself, right?
Oh, okay.
And the Candlelight music last year was my first Candlelight, just me, my band. So I've been featured on people's shows. They call me in and do a couple songs or, whatever. But those 2 days were really my debut. Right. My debut Arts in the Heart performance, my debut Candlelight performance, right? And I remember, I think they're monumental because I remember times going to support other artists that I knew, or going because people call me in or whatever, and going home and feeling like, well, why didn't anybody call me? Or why, when am I going to get my opportunity? Or when am I going to get the opportunity to shine? Or why am I good enough to be a feature for someone else, but I'm not good enough to have my own set, or, whatever. And so I really used to operate in a lot of like timidity, because those thoughts will, kind of start to make you feel like you're not good enough, or this person is better. You start comparing yourself or whatever. And it really wasn't until I started walking in my own lane that those opportunities started to present themselves for me, and it was great. I got a lot of great feedback. But for me, it was more proving it to myself that, Tara, you can do it. Tara, you're good enough. Tara, you have what it takes. And you don't have to compare yourself to anybody else, or you don't have to do what anybody else is doing. You and yourself is enough all by itself. And I remember that night at Arts in the Heart, and everybody's like, encore, encore.
Yeah.
Like,
you kept going. I remember that. You kept going.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Karen comes back and she was like, y'all want to hear one
I
more,
remember that.
one more. Right? And I was like literally almost in tears. I couldn't believe it.
You couldn't have paid me, or I would have not known that was your first.
That was my first performance at Arts in the Heart.
Never would have known that. I'm thinking y'all just a season. I'm like, well, I don't know the people. Now I know why I didn't know, because I never seen it.
Yeah.
But I would never thought that. Yeah. The way you rocked the stage, y'all rocked the stage, was just like...
Yeah, first performance at Arts in the Heart. And to get that type of response, y'all calling for an encore. She was like, man, they finna shut the sound out.
Yeah, I remember. Even when, I want y'all to go one more time. Because I was like, yo, she got to keep going. Because we was going to leave early, but we just like, nah, we got to stay.
Yeah.
Had great seats. It was like right in the front, under little tent and stuff.
Uh-huh.
Y'all was sweating. I was sweating. I would say, y'all was definitely sweating.
You know what I'm saying? Go to the air conditioner with Dory. But no, I love Karen and everything she does for the city. And I really appreciated her for giving me, that shot to be honest. Because like I said, I've been in Augusta. I have been going to Arts in the Heart for forever, but that was really my first time performing at Arts in the Heart. And that is a good thing about her stage. Like you said, people are leaving sometimes, but they hear the music and they come by. Like even last year, I was in like the middle of the day, I think, because that was the only time I could do it. And I'll keep my comments. I'll tell you later. Off camera. But it was not a lot of people when I first started. But by the time we finished the first song, people were drifting in, and it was packed under that little tent, and so that's one thing I love about Arts in the Heart. In the city of Augusta, it's more than just golf. It's more than
more than the Masters. Look at that. I like that.
It's more than the Masters. There's so many amazing artists in the city. In all genres.
No, you're right. Yeah.
That it shouldn't be a fight. It shouldn't be a competition. It shouldn't be I'm trying to steal your gigs and
Nah, you're right.
Whatever.
Nah, I love it. I just think it's dope that now me hearing that story, and it's just crazy. Like my first time being part of the Arts and Hearts, your first time, having your own set in Arts and Hearts, and like look how like my perspective, your perspective of that night.
Yeah,
I was like, nah, that was your first time. So it's just like funny how the world worked that way. That is dope. I remember being there right before y'all came, because somebody else was there before. And I'm like, I'm about to go. No disrespect to them, just I'm about to go. I'm tired. I came early that day.
Yeah.
Then y'all started going. I was like, all right, just 2 more. Just 2 more. Then the encore came. We was like, oh no, we ain't leaving. And I remember we talked about that for like months. Like, we gotta go see them. We gotta go see them again. But we worked some crazy hours, so we just never could do it. But yeah, man, this was dope, man. I definitely appreciate you stopping by. I appreciate it. So you on Dorian stage on Austin Hearts? What was it? Friday, Saturday?
It's Sunday.
Sunday. What
Yeah,
time?
the 21st at 4.
Sunday at 4. All right. Well, I'm gonna be there. I'm not missing Tara and Snaps. I'm sorry, I'm not doing it. One of the Masters podcast be out. I appreciate you coming through. Wrap it up for you. Thank you.